Welcome back to another video where I'm going to be discussing how property is not actually a very good way of making money. And I know this might sound a bit counterintuitive or against the things that I normally say or the things I normally make videos about, but I just wanted to get across that a lot of people, especially on YouTube and social media, make out that getting into property is a great way of making money, whereas the reality is property is not actually a great way of making money. Now, as you know from my other videos, I currently own 6 buy-to-let properties and I have no intention of stopping there, and I'll keep investing in properties now and also in the future. So why am I making a video telling you that property is not very good for making money? So when I sat down and actually thought about this, there's actually a lot of information that I felt like I needed to get across. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a series of videos showing you how to set up, make money, invest some money in property, and the whole cycle basically of getting into property investing, rather than just some kid on YouTube who's telling people how great property is when they haven't really got any themselves, or they only own, say, 1 or 2. Now, I'm not like that. I want to be transparent, I want to be honest, and I also want to get across the truth of what it takes to actually make money from property and actually show people what is involved. So if you're new here, I'm Jason and this channel is all about investing, entrepreneurship, property. So please make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit that bell button so that you receive notifications when I release a new video. And as I say, I'm going to be producing a series of videos going through each step of what it takes from making money to investing in property and actually building your wealth. Now, one of the videos that I made quite a while back, I think it was last year, that was called 3 Steps to Building Wealth. Now, I thought this video would go on to be one of my most popular videos. Now, obviously, that's pretty much down to the YouTube algorithm, but I personally feel this video is very, very, very important, and it's one of the most knowledgeable videos that I put out there because it explains how I personally use 3 steps which I believe to be the best way of building your wealth and making a lot of money. So if you haven't seen that video yet, I'll put a link to it at the end of this one, so make sure you check that out. Because in that video, just to sum it up and really, really quickly, is I build my wealth by making money through an online entity, an online business. I then invest this money into property, which then earns me income from rental. I then invest the rental income into stocks and shares, which obviously gives me a lifetime income of dividends and also increasing my wealth through capital appreciation. So make sure you check that video out after you've watched this one. So back to the main subject of this video. Why isn't property very good at making money? Now, I've obviously preached about property and I will continue to do so. However, there are better ways and easier ways of actually making money. Now, the great thing about property is it's a very, very, very good investment. Now, there is a key difference here between something that makes money and something that's an investment. And I personally see it as 2 different entities. Now, with investments such as property, I see this as a method of building wealth. Whereas if I want to make money, I want fast cash flow, I want money coming in all of the time and quick. So things that bring you in an income without you having to invest a large chunk of money to do so. Now, property is fantastic at building your net worth and building your wealth. Now, unfortunately for a lot of people, they don't actually have the funds in the first place to get themselves into property. So I totally understand why it can be so difficult for people to actually make money from property, because to be successful, a lot of the time you need the capital to get started. Now, again, this relates back to the video I said about 3 steps of building wealth, where you have to generate the income, bring in the money and save it before you actually get into property. Now, there is a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people on social media that are pushing this theory of anybody can get into property, anybody can make money from property without investing anything. They don't need capital to get started. They can use things like rent to rent, the BRR method, and doing joint ventures with people, and all of this bullshit, which, to be honest, sounds great. However, in reality, it's just not feasible for a lot of people. Now, the way that I go about property investing, I just use what I believe to be the boring way, which is to save a lump sum of money, invest it into property, save your money from your rentals, build up capital appreciation, and then use your money that you've made from your property to invest into your next one, and so on and so on. Now, for a lot of people, it's not very exciting. It's not the most lucrative way to be a property investor. However, I feel this is the most solid, it gives you the best foundations, and it also sets you up for the future and to give you a solid base to build your wealth and to grow your net worth. So let me just talk about a quick example. Recently, the last property that I purchased cost me around £30,000 for the deposit and the stamp duty, solicitors' fees, etc, etc. Now, once I got the property, my spending wasn't over because I had to pay for the property to be decorated, had to buy a new oven, had to pay for gas certificate, electric certificate. I've had to pay for the council tax for the time that the property is empty. I've then got to pay my letting agent a fee to find a tenant. So with property, you have a lot of outgoings, especially at the beginning. So for somebody that's looking to make money, property is actually the opposite, so to say. So at the start, you're just going to be paying out a lot of money up front, which again is not feasible for a lot of people. Now, I know in the long run you're going to be earning rent, which you do and which I do and which is very good. However, as I said at the beginning, there are just a lot more better and easier ways of actually making money. Now, if you see money making and property as two separate things, two separate entities, where you should really only focus on property as an investment. Now, of course, an investment does make you money, it will give you cash flow, but with any investment, you need capital to start with. So for me, I personally keep my property earnings and income separate from the money I make from other sources, such as my online businesses and things like that. So if you're currently in a situation where you don't own any investment properties, but you're wanting to get into property, then for me, I would personally say that if you have no money or no capital, then I wouldn't even begin to think about getting into property until you've actually saved up enough money to afford the deposit to buy a property investment. Now, I know this goes against a lot of other channels, a lot of what other people say. They'll try to get you to get into property with no money. They make it sound really easy. They make it sound like you can just go and use somebody else's money like that and you can build your own portfolio. Now, I'm not saying people don't do it this way, because they do. However, it is a lot harder. The rewards aren't as good, because if you're using other people's money, then they're going to want to reap the rewards. They're the ones that are going to want the interest on their investment. They're going to want to see their capital growing, and you'll only be left with a very, very small portion of that. So again, I'm not here to put you off property, because in my opinion, property is the best investment that you'll ever make. However, I just want to reiterate that it's not the best way of making money, especially for people who are starting out, or for people that are looking at ways of increasing their income but don't actually have a lump sum or enough capital to get involved in property. Now, it looks like my battery's about to go. If it does, I'll change it, obviously. Now, I hope this video hasn't put you off property investing, because it certainly wasn't meant for that. As I say, I don't want to just leave people by saying, oh, property's no good for making money, so off you go and find something else. As I said at the start, I'm going to create a series of videos where we actually start from the beginning for people that want to make money who don't have the capital yet. So make sure you keep an eye out for them. Hit that bell button so that you don't miss any video updates from me, and hopefully I'll get them out over the next few weeks. And don't forget to watch that video on building wealth through the 3 steps which I mentioned, because that's very important, and it's also linked to the series that I'm going to be putting out there. So if you like this quick video, please hit the thumbs up button, and I'll catch you soon.